So NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has addressed that report that some NBA owners are frustrated with the financials of the WNBA and the lack of return, especially as the league grows. And here's the thing, that initial report probably needs some context. I don't think it's surprising that the WNBA lost money. It's been losing money. It's been subsidized by the NBA. At the same time, that doesn't negate the growth from this past season, and the fruits of that have not hit yet. For instance, most notably, the media rights deal. The WNBA signed a significant, huge increase in the future media rights, and that has not activated yet. So that money has not come in yet. And then there could be some frustration from an owner like James Dolan, who did have the New York Liberty, and when he had them, they were worth like $15 million, and now they're worth $200 million, owned by Joe Tsai and the Nets organization over there. So that's just part of the context. And then there's the ratings when you're looking forward to the future. Now, the media rights deal is already done, so I don't know how much that plays in. But I did find it fascinating that NBA numbers are down some. ESPN's opening doubleheader, 1.6 million viewers. To compare that to Caitlin Clark's debut on ESPN2, 2.1 million viewers. So we now live in a world where the WNBA can compete with the NBA for viewership, which is crazy. Now, at the same time, you understand if it hasn't been profitable and all these NBA guys are hearing about, this huge spike, yet they don't see that in the return, they're going to be upset. That's basically more or less what it is. And the NBA and the WNBA are one organization right now. Now, Adam Silver, when I talked about those comments, here's exactly what he said in regards to what I just discussed. He was on with CNBC.
Surge in popularity with the WNBA, who did their media rights deal with you in partnership with the NBA. In hindsight, given the unbelievable surge in ratings and attention, was that a mistake? Should they have done their rights deal separately?
Well, first of all, we are all one integrated business. So, when you say they as us,
right?
Yeah, it's we're all one organization.
Sure.
I guess the question is, should we collectively have gone out and had separate discussions
Correct.
around the WNBA? I would say, in essence, we did. I mean, we're always testing the market. I mean, to say the market may be in a different place than it was at the time we were negotiating, we'll see. There's still additional WNBA deals that we're going to do. So we'll see whether the marketplace suggests there's different valuations than the one so we did. I'd say in the aggregate, with the deals we already did, plus the deals that the WNBA now is going to do, the remaining packages, you're looking at roughly a 6 times increase from the current rights fees. Could we have done even better than that? I'm not sure. Again, we'll see. There's also resets, as I think you're aware of, built
After
into the
3 years,
existing
right?
deals,
Yeah.
so that I think both sides knew going into these. Let's see whether, these negotiations began long before this season, so we hadn't experienced this season's ratings yet, but there had been upticks along the way with the WNBA. And I think there was an acknowledgement from both sides that to the extent that the market was better or different than we were predicting, both sides agreed they'd sit down in good faith and make adjustments. By the way, because the expansion issue is front and center in the WNBA as well. Yep. And then so you have to determine, even use WNBA, for example, where there's enormous interest in expansion franchises right now. How much talent is there to go around in the near term? I mean, there's a lot of girls and young women playing basketball, so there's no question it's going to grow over the years.
There was a recent story in the New York Post talking about your WNBA sort of evaluations, where it seemed to say that there was a certain group of owners that were expressing frustration with you that the WNBA teams were not worth more than they are now, in part because of the way how much control is owned by the league. Was that story correct? Are you working with owners to try to address that issue?
Yeah, there was a lot of different points in that story, so it's hard to say correct or not correct. I would just say the answer is yes, we're working with WNBA owners that also own NBA teams, and then more broadly, the NBA owners on what the right valuation of WNBA teams are going forward, what the best way is to operate that league. It's very integrated now with the NBA. There's aspects over time under Commissioner Engelbert's direction where they're still fairly integrated. They share the same office space with the NBA, but under her direction, we've added some separate or departments, like, for example, where they're doing their own marketing right now. They have their own basketball operations department. So it's a balance of things, but I'd say we're collectively looking at all those issues, figuring out the right way to operate going forward.
So I thought Adam Silver actually answered those questions very well. The media rights thing, that's something I brought up in the past too. They have the outs to increase it in the future. So I didn't get the criticism of the deal considering how much of an increase it was. So they got the guaranteed increase. They have the chance for future increases. He more or less confirmed that some NBA owners are upset about the lack of financial return. And that's the big challenge for the WNBA, because he also said, there's extreme interest in the franchise. So he's acknowledging the growth and the popularity, but the revenue has to match. And that's where it hasn't caught up yet. We'll see how it goes in the future. But really, for the WNBA players to fight for what they're clearly going to fight for in the CBA, they have to get to a point where the league is not subsidized by the NBA, where the NBA isn't footing the bill for the losses that the WNBA has, because all that other stuff is well and good, but until it's a profitable business on its own, then it's tough to galvanize behind their cause. I do believe they're headed in that direction. Obviously, like I said, the media rights deal hasn't kicked in yet. You would expect the attendance to continue to grow. Any business that's expanding believes that it is going to make more money, right? So all those things are positive indicators for the future. The NBA players get a 50-50 rev share. WNBA players do not, but the WNBA doesn't make 50% of the money either, because the NBA is the majority owner of the WNBA. So it's a complicated thing. It's a complicated thing. But agendas don't belong either, because there are some people who are celebrating, I lost $40 million. Look at that. Without the context of a lot of that new money hasn't come in yet. At the same time, you also can't say, well, they need all this money like NBA players, when the revenue is not the same. But to me, the moral of the story is that we're talking about the WNBA in the context of the NBA when you're discussing an interest point of view. And I would have never in a million years thought that would ever be the case in my lifetime. If I'm being quite frank with you, I would have laughed it off in a previous time. But now that's for real. And everything about the WNBA is trending up. As soon as those dollars match the charts, then they're really, really going to be in business. But when it comes to viewership and interest, the WNBA is certainly catching up to the NBA. You can't deny that.